That's a tough one. So as we know, in America, let's take America for instance. The US has the biggest influence on crypto more than any other country in the world. So right now there's a battle going on, political battle, the upcoming elections between Biden and Trump. Trump has now adopted a pro-crypto stance. Biden has, by his actions, adopted against crypto. Now, he did a little pro-crypto stuff when Trump was starting to pump crypto, but then his actions are anti-crypto, and that's really kind of creating a divided line. So there is going to be a lot of that presidential election will impact crypto substantially worldwide. Also, when countries go pro-crypto versus anti-crypto, it does make a bit of a difference. Nothing bigger than the States. However, China is now, the news is that they might be, doing mass adoption of crypto. And if they do that, the amount of people they have and the amount of money in their economy could be a huge positive impact on crypto. So looking at how it's adopted worldwide, really it's just the really, really big countries and their stances on crypto that make the difference. The smaller countries with smaller economies and smaller populations, they don't really affect it, whether they're pro-crypto, anti-crypto. It doesn't. Now, on a domestic level, of course, it can help people tremendously. But if we're talking globally, that China, the news we got about China possibly adopting crypto, that is massive. And also what's happening in the States. Those are the two massive, I think, catalysts that will be long-term influencing in today's world. Those two are the big ones. Yeah, I mean, I can share a tremendous amount of personal lessons. I could go on forever. What are the key takeaways? Doing on your own is dangerous. It's difficult. It's frustrating. I made some really, critical mistakes early on, and it cost me a lot. I got sucked in on Discord with a fake. So I was on a real Discord site with a bad actor who posted a link to help me solve my problems. I got taken to a fake Discord site, and they had an elaborate ruse over a period of time, that I got sucked into. And it was just one step after another, and everything just made sense. And then all of a sudden, I'm on a site connecting my wallet, but it wouldn't work. And they're like, well, go to this other site, input your secret recovery phrase. It's completely whatever. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's wrong. I read about it. And they're like, listen, you have an issue. We're here to help you solve it. The site is completely impenetrable. We're an authentic Discord. This is what we do every day. But if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But you have a problem, and we're here to help you. And then I was like, well, I guess so. And I typed it in, obviously the second, I hit enter on the last word, they started draining my wallet right in front of me, and that hurt because I didn't understand the two wallet system back then. So I had a single wallet with a lot of funds on it. I think 20 something thousand, whatever. It hurt. It actually took the wind out of my sails and made me question if I ever wanted to continue. Now, let's just fast forward. That wallet at that time was worth that much. In today's crypto value, it would be worth, in the hundreds of thousands. And during the bull run, it'd be worth, seven figures, probably, about 1.5 million around there. So, we have to understand how lucrative crypto is and how dangerous it can be, especially when you're doing it on your own. I mean, it was the reason I needed help was because I bought a coin or token and they migrated the contract address, which I had no idea what that meant. And if you're watching this, probably have no idea what that means, but every coin or token has a certain address that embeds it to the blockchain. And then every once in a while they migrate to a new address. I didn't understand even know what that meant. And I missed the migration. I just wanted to get my coins or tokens back. And that's why I joined the Discord. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna help you get it. And they're so supportive. And then, like I said, I got sucked in. And that's just my story. That doesn't include repeated number of stories I heard from people who made, like myself, silly mistakes that should never have been made. In anyone's journey, when we do things on our own, we're open, we're susceptible. How do we know? I mean, we're busy, we've got so much stuff going on. How do we know what we're doing is right or wrong? Or how do we know if we're going to get in trouble or not? One of the most powerful things is to find yourself a mentor or a guide or a program to teach you. It doesn't have to be mine. In all seriousness, you can try to go find something. I've never seen anyone else doing what I do. I think I'm the only one of my kind on the face of the earth who's doing a live program, who works with people one-on-one. But if you can find even a friend who's investing or someone to hold your hand, I'd recommend that. I'd basically recommend anything other than doing it on your own personally, but that's just because I went through it and got burned. Maybe that won't happen to you, and you can go learn and learn from the mistakes I've made and not get yourself in trouble. And those are the hard lumps in crypto. But yeah, there's been definitely some challenges for me personally, and that's a story I just wanted to share. I think it aligns perfectly. I think decentralization is the embodiment of financial freedom and empowerment. Like decentralization, the whole concept of decentralization is nobody can control your assets but you. Decentralization works on the concept that everything's on a blockchain, so everything is transparent. Whatever it is you own, nobody can take away from you. You see, in a centralized structure like we have here in Canada, where the banks are centralized, all of our money is inside the banks. And if the banks decide to not release us our money, guess what? We're powerless. If the government, which I already mentioned in the video, decides to freeze our assets, we have no recourse. The government of Canada, like I said already, froze our assets. I think it aligns perfectly. You see, decentralization is really representative of financial empowerment. Let's just look at the opposite. So the opposite of decentralization is centralization. Centralization is the systems that we're using today around the world. So there are governments on this earth that, recently have partnered or taken over the banks and shut down the banks and taken the population's money with them. They've just decided that's it. They're going to shut down the banks and the people can't get their money. And this happens in not one, but multiple countries around the world. I mean, like I mentioned in this video earlier, in Canada, the government of Canada decided to freeze their assets. The only reason they could do that is because we're in a centralized system. Centralized means you have your money parked with somebody or in an entity that controls it for you. You don't have access to it. Decentralization, using blockchain technology, basically means we are in a transparent system. All of our money is on the blockchain, not on the blockchain, is represented, is viewed through the blockchain, which can't be changed. It's not centralized, it's decentralized. You have access to your assets 24/7 anywhere you are in the world, and nobody can stop you. So I think it just goes hand in hand. Like, I'm not one of those conspiracy theorists or like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end, or don't trust the banks, or don't trust this, I don't trust that. No, I mean, I'm not. That's not where I'm going with it. But in terms of just being empowered, being able to access your funds 24/7 anywhere you are in the world, that's how crypto works, right? Not being locked out of your own funds, not being questioned when you're accessing your funds as to why you're using them, what you're doing with them. Oh, you can't take this much out. In Canada, there's so many forms. We have to fill out forms to take money out of our own bank. We get questioned when we're taking money out doing a withdrawal about what the purpose of our withdrawal is for our own money. They charge us to put it in, and then they interrogate us to take it out. And I think it's ludicrous. And I think, a decentralized system where I have complete autonomy over me and my assets and access to them 24/7 is the basis of financial freedom. That's how I see it. I mean, there are a million common myths and misconceptions about crypto. How do I debunk them? Well, I mean, do you want to go through them one by one? Or, I mean, we can just hit some of the common ones. Like, what are they? Crypto is real. It's fake. It's all gonna go away. Crypto isn't going away. I saw firsthand the returns, and they blew my mind. And when I come from, fighting in the stock market to make 10% or 20%, and maybe, like if you make 20% in a year, you're like, oh my God, I hit the jackpot, I did so well. And then seeing in crypto that you can make, a double in a fraction of the time, it just blows the stock market away. So crypto is real. It's here to stay. It's not all scammy and robby and people out there to get you. However, there are a lot of bad actors. There are a lot of people. Anywhere where there's tremendous amounts of money, there's tremendous amounts of people trying to steal, money from good people. But crypto itself, has gotten a bad rap, because when you get inside crypto and you start joining some of the communities, you see some really beautiful people, and people are in there, leading with their hearts and trying to help everybody. And it's a really good, close-knit community of people who really, support each other and want to do good. And there's only a few bad actors, but they, what they say, a few bad apples spoil the bunch, or I don't know how the saying goes, but something like that. There's so many misconceptions when it comes to crypto. The best thing is just learn, educate. I've said it already, education is power. Knowledge is power. Just educate yourself. And as you educate yourself, those myths will just disappear. It's like everything else. It's like, if you go to the gym, I don't want to go to the gym because, I don't want to get too big. It's like, hang on a second, right? Like, why don't you just go to the gym and start lifting weights, and don't worry about if you're going to get too big, because it's not going to get too big. That's just a common myth. Like, oh yeah, I don't want to get too big. It's like, yeah, go try to get too big. Crypto is it needs to be experienced, right? It needs to be experienced. Just go educate yourself. Take my free training. Shine a light on it. It'll, it's like everything else. Something's in the dark. It's mysterious. It's scary. It's like, oh, I don't know what that is. But if you take a light and you shine a light on it, and then you start looking at it, it's not so scary. It's not so mysterious. It's like the same thing with crypto. The only reason people, have a lot of myths and misconceptions about crypto is because they haven't looked into it, or they've just kind of skimmed the surface and taken other people's words for it. But don't do that. Just take a flashlight and look at it yourself. Take my free training, have a look at it, get a deeper understanding, and then decide for yourself, what do you see? And I promise you, if you see crypto the way that I see it, there is nothing scary about it. It's pure excitement and a lot of fun. Because it levels the playing field. This is the beautiful thing about crypto. It completely levels the playing field. It doesn't matter where in the world you're at, what your ethnic or cultural background is, what country you're in. If you get into crypto and you understand it, and whatever assets or money you have, and you want to double, triple, or make more, crypto provides a vehicle for you to do that. And it's a completely level playing field. So for instance, if you don't have money, the saying, if you don't have money, you trade time for money. So you don't have money, you trade time, and then you research and you learn enough about crypto. And like I said already, if you ask 10 different people how to make money in crypto, you'll get 100 different answers. So for people who don't have any financial, who have very little financial resources, if they do put in enough time in crypto, they can figure out ways and learn ways how to make money with the little bits of money that they have. Now, people who have more money and who want to invest and don't have time but have money, that's where I come in. People like me will teach you, like I said, with my 1 week program, in just 1 week, how to double, triple, or even do better than that, on your investments in just a few minutes a day or less. And where else in the world can you do that? So the beautiful thing about crypto is it doesn't matter where you're at, what country you're in, what your background is, what your profession is. If you want to get into crypto, you can learn how to do it. You can learn everything on your own, or you can take programs and be taught. And it levels the playing field because there's no privileged access to crypto. Everybody can get into it. And I think it's absolutely amazing, in terms of that aspect of it. Just want to say thanks for watching this video. It's always a pleasure to share my thoughts with you. If you're interested about my 1 week program, as you know, take the free training, get educated, figure out what it means to you. And if you're excited and you want to know more, book a free call with me and we'll chat about it. I'll tell you everything you need to know, the cost, the time. It's a 1 week, investment. And then from there, 10 minutes or less a day in terms of ongoing maintenance. And I'll hold your hand. I'll tell you what to buy. tell you how to buy it. I'll tell you when to buy it. I'll do everything for you to make sure that your success in crypto is as easy as possible. Again, a pleasure, and I look forward to hearing from you.